Hi, I'm Reuven-Jon Kadalie and I will be walking you through my Municipal Reporter application. This is a .NET 8 WinForms client for reporting local service issues. The goal is pretty simple. Make it quick to log a problem, make status and standards visible, and capture feedback without friction. Upon launch, you land on the main menu with an active action button of Report Issues. We then have local events announcements and service request status buttons, which will be implemented in later phases. At the top right, we have a language selector, which I ship English, Afrikaans, isiXhosa, and isiZulu. For reference, let's change the language. For now, we'll go with English. Once I open Report Issues, at the top, you'll see a Batupele banner with information, openness, and redress. That mapping is intentional because it keeps policies visible inside of the workflow. The form has two cards. On the left side, we have location, category, description, and a Poppy A consent checkbox. On the right side, we have attachments, a remove selected button, a progress bar, and a short hint. We also have inline red icons to show any missing fields. The submit button stays disabled until the required fields are valid and the user gives consent. The consent line is explicit. Data will be used to process this report only. That aligns with the information regulator's guidance on lawful processing and direct marketing. For the attachments and engagement section, I can add a photo or a document. Files list by name, and I can select one or more and click remove selected if I made a mistake or I want to remove anything. As I complete each step, the progress bar advances and the hint changes. This is the engagement feature, and it gives gentle momentum without noise. Let me complete a real example. For location, let me input Edgemead. Then for category, let's go with roads, and description we will say we have many potholes in our roads which destroys our community. And then let's consent, and lastly we'll add an image. Let's add a file and an image, 2 images. Now we can remove the selected. Let's remove this screenshot, and let's remove the screenshot. Now we have the settings button over here. We have language, theme, and font size. The UI relays out when the font changes so labels do not overlap. These controls keep the app usable across different literacy levels and display settings. For example, let's go with 11 and let's go dark mode. As you can see, now let's go back to 9 and let's switch back to light. That's what I prefer. And that works. Now let's click the submit button. Once we click the submit button, we are greeted with a submit form. Your report was submitted, you get a ticket, and your status would be new because it's a new form. And then your target response, 48 hours for sanitation, 72 hours for roads and utilities. Thank you for reporting. Click OK, and then we are greeted with a micro survey, a 1-question survey. The scale runs from 1, which is very bad, and from 5, which is excellent. And this mirrors public service patterns like CSAT and the single ease question. The ratings can be logged with the ticket to track ease over time. We can either skip the survey or we can submit, and you can see the submit button stays unclickable until one of these are clicked. Let's go with excellent and submit the survey, and then we are exited. That is the current slice. Fast reporting, clear standards, real consent, lightweight feedback, and multilingual plain language. The README in the repo shows how to build and run, and in the next milestone we are bringing status tracking and events online. For the coursework, I kept storage local. Issues are persisted to app data, Municipal Reporter issues.json in my files, and inside the process I use linked lists plus a dictionary requirement to move beyond raw lists and arrays while keeping operations fast. Thank you.